The Xeon Crane 3-axis gimbal is perfect for your on-the-go filmmaking needs. Affiliate link in the video description. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and ever since I started my channel, I have talked quite a bit about Ridley Scott and the Alien franchise. Just because Alien Covenant was coming out, there's lots of information surrounding Alien Covenant coming out, then the movie finally came out, and then it went away. The movie was okay, not gonna lie. It wasn't the best thing I've ever seen in the world, and it had a lot of plot problems, and it felt like it was kind of cut down. But also at the same time, it wasn't a movie you could really care about anybody with, simply because you weren't given time to care about these characters. Most people were just there for fodder. I'm not trying to get into Alien Covenant for what it was. You could have liked it, you could have loved it, you could have hated it. That's entirely your prerogative. But the question we're all here to talk about is what is going to happen next? And whether or not Ridley Scott and his umpteen fucking sequels that he announced for Alien Covenant, whether or not they're going to happen. Now, this article here from yesterday says Ridley Scott's Alien Covenant sequels might get canceled. And that is a very valid take on, a very valid thing to start off with. Because given how much money the film didn't really make here in America, and never mind the fact that it was cut for content in China, never mind China, they ain't gonna know anyway, right? But it hasn't really been doing very well. Hasn't been doing very well. It says here that Ridley Scott has been trying to make a comeback to his earlier days of glory for some years now, most notably revisiting his game-changing sci-fi horror franchise, Alien. However, Scott's first attempt at an Alien prequel, 2014's Prometheus, is actually 2012's Prometheus. Come on, Kofi Outlaw, get your shit together. It's not hard to Google that name. It turned out to be a mixed bag, which both critics and fans tore apart for its combination of lackluster story and weak connection to the larger Alien mythos. Well, yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, they even said that it wasn't meant to be an Alien movie. Like, it wasn't meant to really be a connecting film, even though it totally was. And that total fucking xenomorph skeleton that was in the Stay Stocky, that was there that we saw, that was totally a Scott thing. So, yeah, I think they just got cold feet during production and realized, holy shit, we need to tie this stuff together. This summer, we got the Prometheus sequel, Alien Covenant, which promised to better connect the prequel storyline to the original Alien film and get the franchise back to its original sci-fi/horror roots. However, as of now, it's being reported by the Hollywood Reporter that Alien Covenant is officially being viewed as a flop by 20th Century Fox after its theatrical one sputtered out with just $232 million worldwide on an approximate $100 million budget. Now, with print and advertising and everything else, that could, that could probably mean maybe it didn't hit the margin. Maybe they wanted 300 million for it to be considered a profit. When I was at Comic-Con last week, they had a whole freaking thing up there for the Alien Covenant survivors and being tested whether or not you've been infected, clearly tying into parts of the film, which I'm not going to go into, but apparently it was pretty cool, and they had an Alien VR experience as well, and so they were putting money into the home video release of Alien Covenant. And I'm not going to lie, I'm going to pick it up too, because I got Prometheus, I got all the other ones, I'm going to want it in my collection. That's kind of where I gravitate towards. But yeah, you can see it kind of marked as a flop, even though it did okay, kinda. In light of that, it's been reported that Ridley Scott's 2 planned sequels to Alien Covenant may get outright canceled or retooled by 20th Century Fox. And I love that the image right below it is from Neill Blomkamp's Alien 5. Little tidbits there, right? The little promotional art, the little concept art that he put out when he was getting ready to release Chappie. Again, talking Alien 5 before the release of Chappie completely screwed the release of Chappie, in my opinion. It goes on to say, though, in the past few months, Ridley Scott has teased the following stage of Alien movies. According to the filmmaker, the Alien Covenant sequel would reconnect things to Prometheus by having the engineers and other parties taking notice of the devastation caused by Michael Fassbender's David on the engineer homeworld, saying there will be 3 or 4 different players coming in to investigate, Scott said, one of which will be the engineers arriving back to find their planet decimated. Where we go next is obvious, and that is clearly the spoilers from here on out. Fuck it. At the end of the movie, they're headed, David is alive, and he's got some alien, got the eggs, or got the little face huggers, and they're heading off to this new habitable location with 2,000 colonists for him to experiment on. So clearly, that is where it's going. And somewhere in those 2,000 colonists, reportedly, are like Ripley's parents. And little Ellen Ripley might actually be there, just might be, I don't know. They haven't fully tied it in yet, but that was kind of what they were saying. He goes on to say that the proposed storyline hasn't exactly gotten fans too excited, as it still sounds like a sort of heady and extraneous storyline of the engineers started in Prometheus will be dragged out through yet another film. I agree. The engineers were a cool setup, a cool premise, but having them become actual players in the game make no sense. The entire point of Alien Covenant and even Prometheus was about man's questioning of existence, man meeting God, man versus God, and also android or synth versus maker. It was that same exact dichotomy across the board. There are people out there that argue that point with me, and I'm like, it's clear as day. And honestly, the reason why I say that it's happening like this now is simply because Ridley Scott is aging and he is questioning his own mortality, and that is precisely why he's trying to tell these stories. Why do you think he wants to do another one where literally God comes back? Right? That's what he's essentially trying to put out here. Motherfucker, this ain't Star Trek 5. Stop that shit. All right? Like, no. That's not what makes Alien good. It's not like, oh, hold on, the engineers aren't too pleased with David's tinkering. They clearly want to come back and fucking get revenge. No, stop that shit. I agree that it hasn't gotten fans excited. Alien Covenant demonstrating a clear amount of fan fatigue with the franchise. Hearing that Scott plans to dig deeper into his own missteps is worrying, to say the least. Absolutely. On the other hand, District 9 director Neill Blomkamp floated plans a year ago for Alien 5. Again, it was not a year ago. It was like 2015. A direct sequel to Aliens that was going to bring back the original Alien star Sigourney Weaver and Michael Biehn and Carrie Henn back into the franchise. When Ridley Scott came in for Alien Covenant and the planned sequels, that all but killed Blomkamp's hope for Alien 5 to happen. Now, I have talked about that before, and Scott was like, I didn't do anything. I was just a producer on the movie. And I mean, like, if they would have, like, all they had was like, they had a concept, they didn't have a script or nothing, man. Like, nothing. They had nothing. It just, as soon as it went away, I just pitched Covenant because they wanted it, and there was renewed hype in Alien again. No. He cock-blocked him. He cock-blocked him hardcore. And then this is from January of this year. Someone asking Neill Blomkamp about the Alien project happening, and he says, Slim. So I will talk about that here just 1 second. Let me finish the audit because I have a feeling there's some stuff there that might be happening. Still, if Fox wants to keep the Alien franchise going without losing too much revenue, then perhaps changing of the guard is needed. Even if Blomkamp's Alien 5 doesn't happen, there's already been talk about getting Weaver's Ripley back into the franchise in some capacity, which would definitely be a major draw for longtime fans. Finishing up here with, while the future is being determined, Alien Covenant is ending its theatrical run and waiting for its home video release, which is true. And again, I'll pick it up when it comes out. There were some good moments in the movie. There were good moments in Alien Covenant. There were also bad, dumb, ill-advised parts of Alien Covenant, but still, I felt it had more good than bad. But here's the thing. Here's why I say the Blomkamp thing could be happening. Now, I did the other day a video about Neill Blomkamp stepping up to direct The Gone World for 20th Century Fox. It's a time travel mystery novel that's coming out in just a couple days. They signed the rights to it back in 2015. He's kind of been semi-attached to it since 2015. 2015 is when Chappie came out. That was like his last feature film. Keep in mind that the entire promotion of Chappie, as I previously stated, was entirely overshadowed by Alien 5 discussions, which is what piqued a reinvigorated interest in the franchise, leading Ridley Scott to come back and basically cock-block him and everything. And now, with them talking about, retooling the Alien sequels, Ridley is probably not going to have as much pull as he wants. And if Neill Blomkamp comes on in and does The Gone World whenever they get around to directing it, probably not till a 2019 release, then 20th Century Fox would say, okay, Blomkamp, if you do this well, if The Gone World is a success for us, and I think it will, because if he's not writing the screenplay, he can't get caught up in his own shit, then they'll give him Alien 5. I think they'll allow him to do Alien 5 the way that he wants, bring in Sigourney Weaver. Keep in mind, Blomkamp and Sigourney Weaver are still heavily working together with Oat Studio. They still tight, which means that this is probably going to happen. And if they can get to it before Sigourney is too old, which she's getting up there too, she's getting up there, don't get me wrong, she's getting up there. But if they can get to it, then this could be the future of the Alien franchise. And I'm willing to put money on that. I'm willing to put money on that because I look at what Scott has done, And as much as I love him, as much as I respect him, as much as I love what he's brought to the filmmaking genre during his career and how he's really kicked some serious ass, you can see he's lost the plot. You can see that he's at a point now where he does not have the best interest of the franchise at heart. He is making his own vanity projects, and damn anyone else who says otherwise. And that's what's happening here. It's one of the reasons why this does need to be stopped, and 20th Century Fox needs to take that and give it to somebody else. Fans want Blomkamp. They want Sigourney Weaver. That's been pitched. That's already out there in the universe, and the internet is forever and never forgets. It takes 2 seconds to Google all those stories, and every time a story like this comes up, I'll remind you. So there's that. But this is the moment for Fox to step up and decide the future, and it can't be with Ridley Scott. It just can't. He can't even be a producer in any kind of actual capacity. He would have to be a producer in name only, which of course he would have that right. But that's how you make this thing good again, is you have to go back to what made it great. You have to go back to its roots and then build up from there. And that's not what he wants to do. He wants to make this his Star Wars, you know, his big franchise. And the fact that he's admitted that shows you why precisely these should be canceled. These films should be canceled, forgotten about, and then going forward, the future is back again with Ripley. But what do you guys think about this? I do want to know. Let me know in the comments. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been 3 Buck Theater. Thank you guys for hanging out with me today and prattling on about the Alien franchise. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.